office, Denver, where the Broncos introduced Sean Payton yesterday as their new head coach. Payton will coach Russell Wilson, who's coming off a rough year. And he was actually asked if Wilson could continue to have personal trainers and quarterback coaches with him at the Broncos facility, as he apparently did this past year. Listen to what Sean had to say.
Coach, Russell Wilson had a personal coach, Jake Hughes, in the building with access who wasn't on the staff.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that.
How do you feel about players having their own people off the staff in the building, access to players?
Yeah, that's foreign to me. That's not going to take place here. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with it, but our staff will be here, our players will be here, and that'll be it.
Man, he put that right on a tee. He's like, Sean, this is a ball on a tee. Go ahead and hit this one. What do you think?
Hey, it's a new day. It's a new sheriff in town. It's a new standard. And obviously, he's trying to set a culture here. You know, he's a Bill Parcells disciple, and that was Bill Parcells 101, which is it's players and coaches, and there will be accountability. You just hope for the sake of a relationship that maybe Russell Wilson knew that was coming, but that was certainly a shot across the bow.
That's what I thought. Like, as he talked to Russell about this, you would hope so, no?
It appears that it doesn't matter. Like, it seems clear to me that the money that we understand that they're paying him and bringing him in, it's his team now. And it seems that he's going to run the organization in a way that I think we all went into this thinking they better get somebody who's going to get the best out of Russell Wilson. It seems that Sean's given off the impression that he's going to run this program the way he runs it. If Russell fits into it, then that's going to work. If not, we're just going to have to wait till this cap runs out and find somebody new to bring into that system.
What do you think, Nico?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough experience for Russell Wilson, considering he was with Pete Carroll, who's, hey, come on, guys, hey, it's okay, We're going to go to practice, we're going to run, we're going to feel good. Hey, let's go.
Yeah,
and then he's going to Sean Payton. It's like, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, as long as Sean Payton still has, I mean, he's only been away for a short period of time, one season, but as long as he still has the offensive acumen that he had in the past, like I have full faith that they'll be able to get this on track. And then the coaches, all this other stuff won't matter. As long as you win football games, nothing else matters. And I think they have the talent, the coach, and maybe the quarterback to do that.
Maybe the quarterback, but what do you think is the biggest thing that has to happen here for a Russell Wilson turnaround under Sean Payton?
It's easy. The offensive line has to play better, and it has to be firm. When Drew Brees came over to the Saints, he was a disappointment. He had a shoulder surgery, and there was a lot of questions about, how good he was. And what Sean Payton did for a decade was they had a firm pocket and let Drew Brees step up in the pocket, and he went on to have, obviously, a Hall of Fame career. For Russell Wilson, he's a height-efficient quarterback. Same thing. Keep the pocket firm. Let him step up. He can obviously make great plays outside the pocket, but that only works if you have a good structure, and I'm sure that's what Sean Payton's job number one is going to be.
All I heard all year was that Russell can't play in structure. Do you think it can work under Payton?
So the tough part is, in 2006, I was drafted. I was that first draft class with the Saints. So coming into that environment, it was very much so a hard line. What's in the past is over. We're moving forward. We're creating something great here. We're going to create a winning culture. And how do you do that? You have to get rid of that old stuff, all that baggage. You got to get rid of the baggage and create something new. So there's going to be some growing pains here. And guys that are on this team that are really good football players aren't going to be there because either their attitude or their accountability or how they go about their business day to day.
Yeah, I think that when you have a quarterback like Russell, the outer structure stuff, you need to train or help him understand that that's to bail us out.
Right.
And you need to make quick decisions, especially when your athleticism starts to wane, which happens to everybody, and it's clear that some of that's happened to Russell. His outer structure stuff is as good as anyone's in the league when he's at his best. But you don't want to live on that. No one wants to make a complete diet of that. Even when he was in Seattle, they were much more run focused, and then he would do the outer structure stuff before. It seemed like last year they had an offense that didn't have much didn't have many easy passes in it, and Russell was trying to make more happen than he can. So I think one thing we know about Sean Payton is he's going to have a structured offense that allows for quick, easy decisions for Russell, as long as he buys into that. And then when things break down, make some magic, and we'll see what happens.
Like he always used to, and then last year couldn't do really much of either. The Payton-Wilson marriage.
In their minds, that's nonsense. Of course they've considered that. They're human beings. Even just saying, like if someone said, don't think of a pink elephant, guess what you're thinking about, right? Like of course, guys with big egos, very competitive. I don't care if the rational part of your brain says, well, we need each other. Of course they want to know, is it more this guy or that guy? If we want to know, you think it never occurred to them?
But it's so, it's so Max. It's, before Key goes down this dark alleyway, which you bring him down every time we go and do this subject.
Come with me down.
I do just want to reiterate to you, like, and I know that in order to make the conversation simple, we like to equate things to like mano a mano. This is a team sport, man. It's a team sport. So, like, realistically, a lot of us athletes and coaches know that we can't do anything on our own. Tom Brady has never done it by Tom Brady's self, like his own. It's been with the likes of other teammates and players. Like, it takes two to tango. You know, it's like this whole world where we just separate them, like, who he could do, like, it would never. It's the perfect marriage. That's what makes these teams so special and unique.
Jay, I think, you know, when I say, hey, you're arguing against a straw man sometimes, I think like that. What I mean by that is you're arguing against an argument I haven't made. So it's easy to go at a straw man because they can't say, right? I haven't made the argument, and nor are other people, I believe, saying they can do it on their own, or that it didn't take two, or that marriage wasn't the most successful in the history of football. All that's acknowledged.
Okay.
In addition to that, the question arises, but who was more responsible? In other words, could one do it without the other? And the answer has been,
who was more responsible in the Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan scenario?
Jordan.
Okay.
And the answer in this case was and I just assumed it was Belichick who was more responsible. He's the coach. This is football. Look how prepared his teams are, the defense, the special teams there. But then Brady went somewhere else and won a Super Bowl, and Belichick has not won a playoff game.
So is the player always more responsible, pretty much?
No, I wouldn't say so.
I would say so because I would say the player in those critical moments needs to make the plays. Like, the coaches can develop the vehicle. Right? The coaches give you the vehicle, but the coaches can't drive the car. The best players are the one that has to drive the car and make the plays when it matters the most.
I think it's the case in basketball for sure, but football, there are so many pieces that even the quarterback, maybe until recently, I don't think is more important than the head coach if it's a great coach. That's why I am surprised. The reason this interests me is I thought, okay, now we're going to see it with Belichick. Look how good the Patriots.
You want to spread some germs.
That's well, other than that, Key, other than that.
Look, man. Brady left and went from New England to Tampa Bay fully loaded. The deck was stacked.
He stacked the deck.
Okay, he went to a coach, better yet, three coaches that were good at their craft at that time. And Todd Bowles defensively. Okay, Bruce Arians as a head coach, dictator, whatever you want to call it, and Byron Leftwich as an upcoming play caller. With Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Gronk and Antonio Brown and Fournette and all of the defensive guys, the Sues of the world and all those dudes. And they hit and ran into a Kansas City Chiefs team that had you playing offensive line in the Super Bowl.
Key, in other words, it doesn't prove anything. It's just a piece of evidence.
Yeah, but you
try to make it point. You use it to try to prove a point.
Because that's one piece of evidence. This is what I was expecting. Whether or not Brady won the Super Bowl, I was expecting the Patriots to be better than they've been.
How you gonna expect the Patriots to be good when they ain't got nobody? They messing around. They messing around in a COVID year with a quarterback in Cam Newton who's coming off an injury.
So get
with no other player.
That's the quarterback.
But that's a different. I'm okay with Max questioning his GM skills. If we're questioning draft selections and what you're doing with the roster, okay. But, like, that doesn't mean that he's less of a coach because he's made some poor decisions.
But he's been doing.
Jay, just so you know, let me state very clearly, he's a great coach. I'm not arguing.
Let me bring you under the hood. Yeah. He's been doing the same things in terms of drafting and signing players since he's been the head coach.
I understand.
Now he doesn't have Tom Brady.
I understand.
The difference is he doesn't have Tom Brady anymore.
Tom Brady in the 6th damn round.
Yes, but now he's gone, and without him, he can't win a playoff game.
Stop,
That's what's happened since then. I'm not making it up. I'm more surprised than anyone. That's why it's a big...
The team was old. The team was old, man. Okay, they didn't have any playmakers.
May I ask a question?
They had to find those guys and bring them up. Let's see where they're at this year. Okay, let's see where they're at now.
How about this, Key? How about this question for you? Moving forward with the way the NFL is trending, do you still think the way Bill Belichick actually drafts talent and his system will be effective in the future of where the league is going?
He drafts talent, and his system is the same as everybody else drafting talent. They evaluate what fits in their system.
he's not as good at it because he hasn't won any playoff games.
Oh, Max.
But I'm talking about how, like,
shut up.
What it is. I'm not making it up.
Like a quarterback with where the league is trending with drafting quarterbacks and things of that sort, right? We still say that they have one of the most traditional quarterbacks in the league.
Yes.
Like, that's a Bill Belichick pick in the draft.
Yes,
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, does he need to change a little bit of the way his system is in order for them to continue to reach the top?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So you think they can win with Mac Jones? You think they can win the Super Bowl with Mac Jones?
I gotta see what
Mac Jones maybe.
I gotta see what Bill O'Brien does with Mac Jones, because as of right now, as it currently stands, no.
Okay.
I have a question I'd like to ask, guys.
No, I do not.
I have a question.
No, Max, we don't want you to ask any more questions.
I have a question. Is Ja Morant hurting his chance of being the face of the NBA? See, you didn't know I was going to ask that question, Jay. Keyshawn,
okay,
J.
Max.
Max, ESPN Radio.
This guy's slick.
The NBA created the Kareem